It's not wow like a 9 inning game. It happens. But Mad Bum was really good. The Diamondbacks were really good in both games yesterday over the Braves. It's understandable. It's not like out of left field. It's not a surprise or anything. It's like, 7 inning game, it counts differently.
505 246 0610. You can get in on. So what you watch? Did you watch a lot of baseball? Did you hit the hoops this weekend? Did you watch the fight? Like what were you into?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Fight.
the above. I dropped in a little Talladega final 20
Did
laps
you?
there on Sunday. I always in for the final laps
Nice.
of a big race. What the Brooklyn Nets did yesterday should let you know that when healthy, because they did that without James Harden, by the way, beating the Phoenix Suns, and they're still the first place team in the East. And I know every conversation, I think people want to find a way not to like the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm struggling figuring out what that way is going to be if all those guys are on the floor.
Well, Durant comes back 33 for the Nets yesterday, and they beat Phoenix by a decent number, 128. 119 was that number. To your point, those gentlemen get healthy. I'll take those three. I think I'll take those three over AD and LeBron.
And it was even Joe's 2 last night.
Yeah, no, I know.
Beating the Phoenix Suns. And what is really impressive this last week, the role players have stood out. Jeff Green, all of a sudden, is looking like a 24-year-old, not a 34-year-old. What Joe Harris has been doing, Steve Nash is figuring out that rotation. And the injuries stink to James Harden and Kevin Durant. You're wondering, all right, what's the chemistry going to be like in the postseason? But Steve Nash has done a really good job with this rotation and figuring out, all right, who are going to be those pieces that get me to the Eastern Conference Finals, that get me to the NBA Finals, if all these three guys are locked in.
Yeah, well, but Durant back, 28 minutes last night, so still somewhat on a pitch count. 33 points for the Nets. Steph Curry had another big game this weekend. He's averaging 38.2 on the month for the month of April. He set the record for most 30-plus games for anybody over 30. That includes Kobe. That includes anybody over 30, like everybody. I told you after the Washington game, I thought he'll get back on his little run, because he has to, and everybody has a day off, and that's what I thought that Washington game was. And back on it. I think he gets 2 more games this month to set some more marks.
And he has to, like you said, it's where they are in the playoff race. They're going to be in the play-in tournament at this point in time, but for Steph, it's a reminder to the entire game what level player he is, and I think it's a reminder to himself, kind of just realizing, okay, I need to be one of those guys. I need to be a LeBron, a whatever guy we look at and think can take over and carry a team by themselves, because that's what he has to do. Because the Warriors are not a good basketball team, but they have a great player in Steph Curry.
Yeah, they do. All right, we're going to get everywhere for you this weekend, but try to hit as much as we can in the open. Kim Mulkey leaving Baylor for LSU, I think, was, even if you don't follow women's basketball, I think that kind of hit a little bit yesterday. So I got to get there. What does that mean? Little baseball, 3 tight games with Washington over the weekend. We'll go there as well. What LSU's doing with Darius Geis, and certainly want to get your thoughts on UFC over the weekend, where JJ. And let's hit it off the top. I mean, I think you and I both liked Usman going in. Spectacular in the second round to knock him and end it. The Weidman injury, which I haven't seen yet, but I've heard all about it. It seems to be the most talked about.
You can survive without seeing it.
Yeah, that's what I understand. That's everything I understand. It really feels like what's going to be talked about the longest coming out of that card this weekend.
Yes, it was one of the most shocking things you're going to see up there. Just nasty. A nasty injury. Broken leg, steps back on it. Just oof. It was rough. But the championship fights, the fighters that won the belts were fantastic. And for Usman, he thought this was going to be a closer fight. He was a little bit nervous. He was locked in. And Jorge Masvidal did not think Usman could hit like that, and then once he woke up, he's like, "Man, I was wrong about this guy."
Yeah, and we can have the historical context conversation as well. All right, you'll send emails to us this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's NCAA soccer. The beginning of the women's soccer tournament. Good baseball over the weekend as well. It's the opening drive. Happy Monday to you. Glad you're with us on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world.
Well, days away from the NFL draft, and they tell you if people are talking about you, it's a good thing. Well, people are talking about the Niners. People are talking about the 49ers and what they're going to do with the number 3 pick and who do they like, and you can find a mock draft to support whichever quarterback it is you want them to take, whether it's Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, whatever you think they should do. You can find somebody who's going to support you, and you can find 4 or 5 or 6 or 12 others that support something else. And I think they love this, JJ. I think they love the suspense. I think they love driving up the conversation in what they do. And if they're talking about you, it's probably a good thing. Not always. And in this case, I think it's fine for them. You still think they're going to go Trey Lance? Because now I'm starting to see people say, "Oh, I think they're going to finally realize it. And they're going to go to Trey Lance." I'm like, or not Trey Lance, Justin Fields. I feel like they're going to go another way.
I think that's what everyone else wants them to do, because everyone outside of San Francisco thinks Justin Fields is the dude. But if you listen to Adam Schefter, the other big dogs in the reporting world, they've been on Mac Jones and they haven't wavered. And that's the name at 3 that I believe we're going to hear selected by the 49ers. And then it will open the draft at 4. How much are teams willing to give up if Justin Fields or Trey Lance is their guy? Or do they sit back and see what happens? And I was reading Peter King's column last night, and he was pointing out it's a reminder that some teams are hesitant because of what the 49ers did. They paid a steep price to move back up, and that set the market. And so if you're going to trade to 4, or where else would you be, maybe 6 or 7, still you're sitting there going, well, where are you coming from? And then if San Francisco came back from 12, well, it's going to cost you about the same, and we're talking multiple first-round picks.
Well, if somebody wants to do it bad enough, they're going to pay, right?
Yeah, and this is one where it's going to be very interesting because we talk about the track record of quarterbacks. 1, 2 of these guys are not going to be good, but they're the guy that you fell in love with at this moment in time. And I'm not as worried about, say, the 49ers and a high pick, or maybe even a team trading up, because it's a more stable organization moving up to this spot. But it's fascinating, and these quarterbacks are going to have an immense amount of pressure, as they always do, but especially with what it would take to get the guys after the top 3, because you're going to have to move a lot of draft assets.
Yeah, but that's Denver, right? It's if you're talking Denver, you're talking New England, pretty much, right? And unless there's a surprise team, does Carolina? I don't think Carolina does. I just don't. I think they went out and got Sam Darnold. I don't think they go out and decided to go trade up to get another quarter. I just don't. But that doesn't mean they won't. It means whoever it is that's looking to move up, it's going to cost you. And I think I keep going back to what I said the other day. I just wonder, are you reaching for are all 5 of these quarterbacks really first-round quarterbacks? Right? Mac Jones wasn't on the board. Now, that doesn't mean he's not. I mean, Joe Burrow wasn't on the board before his senior year either. So I understand that. I just don't think what Mac Jones was Joe Burrow-esque to me. They go Mac Jones, man. I think there's a feeding frenzy at 4. I think the phones are ringing, and I think Atlanta better know what they want to do, because the phone's going to be ringing from every angle to try to get Justin Fields at 4.
I would think so, but I'm also getting the feeling that we could see these guys slip a little bit later, just based on the price that it could take to get one of these quarterbacks. And we have rookie GM in Denver, so we don't necessarily know what he is, other than you look at Minnesota, what he was around, and they were a team that was more about kind of staying put or trading back,
quarterbacks,
acquiring draft picks, and you can't rule anything out, because if it is Mac Jones, I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance are very intriguing for multiple teams. And the one thing with Carolina, they haven't picked up that 5th-year option just quite yet on Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
So they're keeping that door a little bit open to see what might fall their way. And then also, all these teams want to trade back. So what's it going to take? Atlanta would probably love to get some more picks, maybe drop down and still be in a situation.
But the worst case scenario for them is they get Kyle Pitts, right? I mean, that's we got to use 4, and we're going to take this generational tight end. I mean, that's a pretty good fallback position.
I agree. I really do agree. I think that, and that's why I really do like Justin Fields. I'm a Justin Fields dude going into this draft, but I think it could actually end up Fields and Lance sliding and teams not making a move, and everyone just kind of looking at each other, going, all right, who's going to fold first?
Yeah. And it falls into your hands at some point. Chad, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up, Chad?
Hey, guys. Love the topic this morning. I think this whole quarterback thing in the draft, it's such a tricky thing. And when you look at history, it's funny how much focus there is put on prior to the draft on quarterbacks. And then when you look back at history, so few of these guys actually pan out to what they are built up to be. So there's there's a reality here, and then there's kind of this hocus pocus kind of let's try and smoke and mirrors, present this elevated value that isn't a reality. And you see with Jared Goff, I mean, even Carson Wentz, you could argue that, I don't know where his career is really going. It might be going up in Indianapolis, but it's fair to say he hasn't reached his potential for where he was drafted.
Absolutely.
I'd rather take a guy that has done pretty well, like a diamond in the rough, versus a guy from Ohio State. I mean, I do like Justin Fields, but these guys that come from big programs, it's a lopsided playing field. They have great lines, they have great players around them, so you can't really measure them against somebody from a MAC conference team like Dayton or Ohio University or Miami of Ohio, where Big Ben came from. I think I'd rather get somebody like that who did well against more adversity than somebody who has the cards stacked in their favor.
Chad, I think, I appreciate the call. Thank you, Chad. I think that's inexact as well, because if you're a MAC quarterback putting up ridiculous numbers, you're also doing it against guys defensively who aren't as good. If you're at Alabama, offensively, you're out talenting everybody on the field at every position, both receiver and on the offensive line almost every week. But at least you're doing it against pretty good defensive backs and defensive linemen, guys who are probably going to play in the NFL one day. So it's inexact either way. I hear the argument both ways all the time. Mac Jones was really good because he's never going to have it that good. You're right. He had a stable of receivers who were just make the right read and deliver the ball for the majority of the time.
Yeah, and that's also something that Kyle Shanahan is very big on, because he believes in himself in that offense so much that he wants one of those guys. Hey, just do what the play is designed to do, and we're going to be good. And to Chad's point on it, we know the draft is such inexact, and you're just trying to figure out what traits matter, what can this person do physically, what can this quarterback do. And I'll go back to Adam Schefter because he had a piece on SportsCenter yesterday about this topic, and he was talking with GMs. He was talking with GMs that have traded up, what Buffalo did to go from the 20s that draft up to 7 to select Josh Allen when you see your guy and you want to go get him. And it was the Ravens' new general manager. His name escapes me, but he brought up the point that he said it's hard to look past a quarterback because that's a position that gives the franchise hope. That is the glamour position. Like, people understand football. Like, yeah, you need a good line, you need a pass rusher, but when you draft a quarterback in that first round, that does something for your franchise that no other player does.
If there's one position in all of sports, all of team sports that makes a difference, it's quarterback. It's the only one. You can get a Trevor Bauer, but he pitches once every 5 days, right? You can get LeBron James, but he's still. It's not the same as getting a franchise quarterback, and so I understand it. You've got teams all over the league that got that guy. Khalil Mack was a great pick for the Raiders in the top 6, top 8. He was great, but they didn't win. You've got defensive linemen all over the place that they're putting up great numbers on teams that don't win. It's hard to find a great quarterback on a team that doesn't win, right? You can tell me, though, this guy's good. Matt Stafford's good. They don't win a lot. Okay, I'll give you good. That's fine. But find me a great one on a team that consistently doesn't win. Dan Marino?
You can't get to that level without winning.
Yeah, there isn't one. You can't get to the great level without winning. You're right. I love the conversation on it. What do you think? As a Niner fan, I know you're out there because I always hear you when the Niners and the Rams play. I know you're there. This is kind of a make or break draft for you guys, isn't it? I mean, you traded all that equity to go up. You assume you get healthy next year. You got the 2 young geniuses running your franchise. So where do you go? Are you all screaming Justin Fields too, just like JJ is, and just going, damn, what do they know about Mac Jones? Because he sure feels like Daniel Jones a couple years ago, doesn't he? He sure feels like that.
Yeah, and it's one that being in that room's got to be fascinating, because then what happens with Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, if there are the 4th and 5th quarterbacks available, the waiting game, who holds the card, who's bluffing, it's going to get really interesting on Thursday.
Yeah, all right, I want to hear from you on that. We'll get more into the draft as well, but that's really where everything's centered. I think one, Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. I think we're pretty 99%, right? Zach Wilson, BYU is going to the Jets.
Yes.
Have they said that yet?
They haven't said it, but they haven't denied it. Like, it's a given. Like, all right, we know 1 and 2. It's Trevor Lawrence. It's Zach Wilson. I think there should be more conversation on who should go number 2, but the Jets, that's their guy. Much like the 49ers are probably sitting there on the guy and going, yeah, I keep saying that.
All right. And then we'll get into where it goes from there. 505-246-0610. Want to hear from you. Emails, jeff@610knml.com or jj@610knml.com. We'll talk more draft. We got NBA to get through. Huge news in the world of women's college basketball. Like huge news. Stuff that makes you, even if you don't watch women's college basketball, go, whoa. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to newmexicohighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant.
Ah, mics are hot. Yeah, mics are hot. It's going to be a hot week. Draft, NCAA soccer tournaments, getting closer and closer to ice ups. Baseball, JJ. You go out to the ballpark pretty soon. Go watch some baseball. Local baseball over the weekend. 3 tight games. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the University of Washington. Good games for them to play. Would have been better to win. Obviously, it always is, but good run, tight games, and they can play with a pretty good Pac-12 team.
Yes, it's been nice seeing baseball play. I was out at softball this weekend as well. Speaking of being out at the ballpark, and it's fun. Looking forward to getting out there at Isotopes Park. By the way, shout out to Cameron O'Grady, Lobo Senior.
Cameron O'Grady,
9 RBIs this weekend as Lobo softball takes 2 of 3. From Boise State, including a walk-off grand slam game 1 Saturday and a 3-run shot yesterday. Fun stuff.
You're like the magic maker. You call the game, magic happens. Seriously, you caught some cool stuff over the last month and a half. You are a Lobo magic boy. You got your Lobo or your UNM shirt going.
Shout out. Did get this from Lobo Soccer last year. So excited for that game tomorrow against Navy. Looking forward to it.
Remember when Hoser got that job? When he was doing the pit thing,
hype man,
and he was, and I think he still is because he was out at football. But they didn't give him he's like, I don't know what to wear. I don't know what. And I kind of went to my closet and I found like 2 or 3 still on the tags on them, Lobo polo shirts or the pullover, whatever. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. It's like I can have. You don't want them? I'm like, no, man. That's why they still have tags on them. I haven't worn them, and that was like all he had to wear out there. And I think they did finally give him one more. But yeah, so Lobo Hype Man, he's like, I don't even know what to wear. You didn't have any Lobo stuff. So nice that they gave you some. All right. Can we go to Usman and Masvidal over the weekend? You can hit it on a historical perspective, what it means as far as Usman. I heard so much going in about how this fight was on 6 days and it was going to be different, and I'm thinking, man, I've watched a little of both of them. I mean, it could be on 6 or 60. that dude who won really, to me, is better than the other guy who's really good, but really better. And I think he proved that on Saturday night. Usman is really better.
The difference people were thinking is, all right, it's a full camp for both fighters.
Right.
So, what can Masvidal do in a fight that was actually pretty tight the first time around on quick notice? Is it going to benefit Usman? Is it going to benefit Masvidal? And it benefited Usman because Usman, whether you're playing the game or not, when you hear these guys talking and all the interviews they do, the lead-up shows, etc., Masvidal was saying Usman doesn't hit. He's like, I've been hit harder. It's like, I don't know how this guy can walk around not knowing that he can hurt people. And you see Usman hurt you. He turned your lights out. And then he gave you a couple shots on the ground to make sure you weren't going to wake up for a little while. It was an epic performance. It was a dude that is now pound for pound best in the sport. John Jones can keep talking. At some point in time, he's got to figure out how much money the UFC is willing to give him to step back in the octagon to fight at heavyweight. But right now, Usman is the dude running the game because he's showing up. He's putting on shows. He's got an unbelievable streak going right now. And he respected Masvidal to the point that he had a full focus. I'm not saying Masvidal wasn't focused, but I do not believe he was ready for that kind of power from Usman, which is a big mistake on his part.
Do you think he believed it or just talked? Because you said they can say all they want and they can talk all they want. Do you think when Masvidal was saying all that mess, you think he believed it?
I think there's an element of it. Cause he
I guess when you say stuff long enough, right?
Yeah, he said he came in at that first fight and he was like, the guy didn't hit as hard as I think he would. All right, well, he did that time.
Yeah,
he got you that time.
I mean, to me, it's you say stuff, and especially in promotions all the time, you hype it. But then there's a big part of me that believes you say something long enough, you believe it, right? And I'm trying to recall. I don't recall the first fight as much as I should, but I mean, did Usman just not hit him? Did he not get at him? He didn't hurt him, and so that's why he feels, well, I went the distance with him. He can't hurt me. Good night now. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and I thought, and we were talking on Friday, and it's a guessing game. How's a fight going to end, let alone what a quarterback is going to be in the NFL draft? I was thinking that this could go the distance. It would be a decision win for Usman, and Usman was having none of that. He's like, all right, we're gonna end this. We're gonna make this spectacular. And all three fighters that put that belt back on Saturday made sure their opponent knew who was the champion at the end of the fight.
Yeah, no doubt. I just didn't see it go in the distance, and it didn't. All right. Chris Weidman had surgery yesterday. He was carried off. Again, I haven't seen it. I'm down with what I think it looks like. I've heard about it plenty. Successful surgery, shattered ankle. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. As hard as some of these leg kicks are, bone on bone, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more, aren't you?
When you see it happen, yes, because then your mind starts racing. All the times you see it happen on a fight card, hundreds of times almost, when you're just sitting there watching from the prelims to the main event on a Saturday, fighters are throwing those kicks like crazy. And I don't think it was a compound break, but that's the only thing that you say, oh, well, that's nice, because it was one of the worst things you're going to ever see.
Yeah, I just, yes. When body parts start dangling and going in directions that they're not supposed to go, yes, it gets there. All right, overall, pretty good card. Huh? Overall, really, really good night. I think if you bought the card, you bought the fights, you enjoyed them.
If this is a night that you are very pleased with your investment on the pay-per-view from the UFC side, the champions stood up. Good fights from top to bottom, and a strong weekend for the UFC.
All right. Told you going into break, I don't know if it was the last one. I think it was the last one. Even if you don't follow women's basketball, this one is going to make you scratch your head. It was a bottom line headline during the ballgame last night. Kim Mulkey leaving Baylor? Do you know how old she is? How old do you think she is?
Kim Mulkey.
Shouldn't ask a woman's age.
Do we want to start guessing how old this lady is?
I'll tell you. I mean, how old do you think?
Let's say late 50s.
Yeah, 58. I never knew if she was in her 40s or her 60s. I don't know if that's good or bad. But she was 21 seasons at Baylor, won 3 national championships, and left this weekend to go to LSU. And this is where some of that football money can come in now, and help. They want to build a women's basketball program up. They want to be better, and so she's from, I don't know where Tickfaw, Louisiana is. You ever heard of Tickfaw? Tickfaw, Tickfaw, Louisiana. No. But she's going back home to Louisiana, and this is a career like she's been there 21 years. She took it over in 2000. They'd never reached the NCAA tournament in 2000. I mean, what the 2 coaches there have done is pretty crazy. During her tenure, they missed the NCAA tournament 1 time. They won the national championship in 2005, 2012, 2019. Now, she played collegiately at Louisiana Tech. She spent 15 years at Louisiana Tech as an assistant head coach. She's had a heck of a career, 36 years of coaching. She was on the 1984 gold medal team in the Olympics, and now she's going to start building a program at LSU. This one just stunned me. You figured Gina was going to stay at Connecticut forever, and she was, Pat Summitt stayed at Tennessee, and she was going to stay at Baylor, and that's just kind of how it is. But obviously, nothing is how it is. This one shock you a little bit?
Absolutely. Seeing a coach like this make the decision to leave Baylor, how close they were, how good they have been this season, but it just sounds like you get to a certain point in your career, and sometimes going back home, close to home, makes a lot of sense, and especially going to a program that is not going to struggle for resources at LSU.
No, look, this isn't a bad program. We'll have all the resources they want. She'll make whatever she wants to make, and I mean, I don't know. Do you think in women's college basketball, does the coach make the program? Because it kind of does. Don't you expect to see her at some sort of level? I mean, how long before you think you see LSU in the Final Four? 3 years? 2 years? 6 years? I'm going to go 2, maybe 3.
Into the Final Four? I'd probably be... Okay, 4 years would just be, I think, fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of what I would expect. I mean, you start getting those recruits. They want to play for her. They've watched the success that she's had. By every account, Baton Rouge is a hell of a place to go to school. LSU is really cool, really fun. I mean, if she could do it in Waco, Texas at a private faith-based university, you would think she'd be able to do it with the resources they have at the flagship school in a state that's got everything you want and tradition and everything else. I think that's going to work for her. Now, what does Baylor do? That's going to, because somebody's walking into a really interesting position. Kind of feels this is where you promote the assistant. Noodles. Right? I mean, this is the conversation I always have with you. When you're changing because somebody else plucked your coach because you're in a good place, that's when I always think, all right, this is where we're gonna stay the course. But I don't know. We'll see what they got.
Yeah, and that's also a program too that
Bruin
has
James.
enough at this point. If they wanted to go pluck a good coach from maybe a program that quite hasn't achieved the level they have, they can be in that conversation as well.
Yeah. All right, Bruin James. Good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, James.
Hey, you're looking at a guy that I'm in a win-win position. Watched the Dodgers and the Padres play last night. As a kid, Padres, Dodgers, met Tony Gwynn, met everybody on both sides of the aisle. Watched the game yesterday. Watched the kid catch 2 home runs. Man, it was a win, and the weather was beautiful here, and just it was
a little cool
awesome yesterday. It was pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, mid-60s and a little overcast yesterday. Starting to get that May gray, June gloom thing going. You got to pick a side in this one. You got to pick a side. I don't tell you anybody how to be a fan, but you got to pick a side.
It was, yeah. I mean,
well, James,
you know,
what if someone said to you, "Hey, I was watching USC UCLA, and it was a win-win for me because I got a buddy on the Bruins and a buddy on the Trojans." No, you got to pick a side in that, don't you?
No.
No?
I don't go there. Nope. I don't go downtown. I stay in Westwood. Nope. No way.
There's your answer.
No way.
Yep, you got to pick a side. All right, man. No, it's gonna be fun. The baseball's good. Thanks, James. I mean, in a rivalry like that, I never tell anybody how to be a fan. Never.
You can enjoy the overall product, but I don't think that's
got to pick a side in that one,
Dodgers,
right?
Padres. Oh, I'm a fan of both.
Time.
What?
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610.
What you don't need to worry about is where you can get your training done. Let me tell you about F45 functional training. Life is crazy. There's a lot going on. Whether you got work, the kids going back to practice, school, you're busy. When is this going to happen, and where is this going to happen? Focus on your fitness, and you can do it with F45 functional training. It's high-intensity training in a 45-minute class. Classes 7 days a week, so you're going to be able to find a time that works for you. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can sign up for a 7-day free trial and then book your class to get into the gym and check it out. It's a new workout every day. The circuit training, high-intensity training is a lot of fun, and I love to mix it in because it challenges you from head to toe. It is overall full-body functional fitness, and it will help you get in good shape. Because maybe you're someone that doesn't like to spend hours doing cardio, maybe is looking for something a little bit more than just your traditional strength training, where here you have the best of both worlds in a 45-minute class that is very manageable in your weekly schedule. F45 Training has certified trainers to help motivate and modify. The atmosphere is good, a clean, fun gym to attend. I am loving it, and you will too, because the Saturday and Sunday classes come in clutch for me with that busy weekly schedule. There is a time for you to take control of your fitness, and that time is right now. So check them out, f45training.com. Download the F45 app. The gym is located 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's really good access from wherever you're coming from in town. You can do it, and F45 is here for your fitness. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from YAFL to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Mir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that my.
Well, what says you? A lot of things, actually. You sending me some emails. You took the time to send them. For the most part, I'll take the time to read them. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in, that's 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks. Aaron is producing for you on a Monday morning downtown, and Bobcat is producing. And actually, look at that! Look at that! He's up on your screen. Look at that! For the first time, you got a Bobcat on the screen. Welcome to our visual. Welcome to our simulcast, Bob.
Why, thank you.
That's
it's
beautiful.
Fun.
It took a minute.
I had to get with my youngest daughter to make sure I knew how to do this.
Okay, and then when she said just tap here and tap here, you're like, that's all?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
no, I get it. I go through that all the time. I get it all the time. How was the weekend in the house? Everything okay? He's okay that you're moonlighting, you're running out on him, you're spending time with the sports audience?
Yeah, they're still giving me static, but we love
static?
the Viper Pit. Oh, they're still teasing him that that you guys are going to steal me away permanently, and
that's got to get his goat.
We're having fun with it.
Yeah, that's good. Should we tease him too, JJ? You want to taunt Strauss? That's a house of mouse that you'd open up there.
Oh no!
Right?
Don't do that.
You want to taunt Strauss?
Coming out. I did get some good news.
No, good news is always good.
You remember my oldest daughter, Miss Helen Wheels?
Yes.
She's moving back to Albuquerque.
Wasn't she in Central California?
She was, and then she moved up to Denver, and now they're going to move down here.
Nice. That makes make you very happy to have your little girl coming home.
Oh yeah. Both my girls will be here, and we'll be able to see them a little bit easier than driving out to California.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Congratulations, Helen Wheels. I was before Joey Skidmark, for those of you who don't remember.
It has been a while.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. All right, 505-246-0610. Give Bobcat a call. He'll put you on the air with us. John said the 49ers first-round pick, JJ. He says the Niners are keeping Captain Handsome, a.k.a. the Crusher. or Jimmy G. He says they've got a great tight end in Kittle. I bet the Niners take Kyle Pitts, who is more than a tight end. They can move him around, especially in the slot where Jerry Rice carved out his amazing career. I'm not sold on them taking a quarterback with that third pick. After Lawrence and Wilson are chosen, Pitts is clearly the best athlete on the board. And then he says, or they'll pick Trask or Trey Lance. Mac Jones would be a mistake. First of all, they're not picking Kyle Trask there. I just see no way they moved all the way up to take Kyle Trask. They could take Trey Lance.
They can take Kyle Trask in the second round.
If they moved up
available
to number 3, you think it was to get another tight end?
If that was the case, shocking. And that San Francisco. I agree with the assessment. I think you're looking at the most dynamic skill player in Kyle Pitts. Like Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, like these dudes I think are going to pop. The receivers have, by the way, that's a position that's really over the last few years outside of the first round been really good too. Yes, the assessment on Kyle Pitts, you're going to feel great whoever selects him in the top 10. But I don't think anyone sees them moving that much draft capital to not get a quarterback.
And more so to get a tight end when you've got one. And I get how good he can be. And I think he's going to be really good, Kyle Pitts. I just don't know that I trade all of that to go up and get him as good as a tight end can be. Just had this conversation. The quarterback's the one position in sports that just changes everything, right?
Yes.
Well, they've already got a quarterback. They got Jim Garoppolo. Oh, okay. All right. Have you heard them say once Jim Garoppolo's our guy for the future? We like Jim. Jim's good. No, Jim's going to be here. Jim's been
nice guy. Have you had a coffee with him?
Yeah, Jim, like you say you don't say it all the time, but you said it often. Jim Garoppolo, he's fine. He's fine. And I don't think anybody ever says, I want my quarterback to be fine. I want a good quarterback. I want a great quarterback. I want a bad A quarterback. I want my quarterback to be fine. JJ's fine. Jeffrey's fine. Like, whatever. No, that's not. Nobody wants to, unless it's, damn, she's fine. You don't want fine. Nobody's looking for fine. You'll get by with Andy Dalton, the Bears. He's fine, right? They're Kirk Cousins. He's fine, right? You can win some games with Kirk Cousins, right? The league's littered with quarterbacks. We're fine, JJ, right? I mean, go down the list. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Okay. Tyler Heineke, he might be fine. I don't know. Jim Garoppolo, he's fine. I just can't see that they moved all that draft capital to go get another tight end.
You're not trading multiple first round picks for Kyle Pitts.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Now, if John hits this on the head, good on you, because no one would see that coming. But I think it's gonna end up being the guy that no one really thinks should go there, and Mac Jones being picked to San Francisco, just because it just feels like Shanahan's in love with that type of guy. And is Mac Jones that much better than Jimmy Garoppolo? Well, he's cheaper at this point in time. That's kind of the difference in my mind, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Glenn wants to know, when does Bobcat get a day off for load management? The Viper Pit took him to task this weekend. The house is not the kind of show where he can put his legs up on the control board and sip hot chocolate for 3 hours. What are you saying, we are?
No. I don't know if he's saying that, but I'm not.
No, that's what Glenn's saying. I mean, first, he comes off being concerned about you, but then he's like, well, I mean, he's got to work harder on the weekends than he does on the weekdays.
Everything is different.
You don't have the video component there, do you? Is the House of Strauss? Is that simulcast? Is that on television? Is that on the World Wide Web visually? Is it?
No, it is not.
Just saying, man. They get pancakes and burritos. They do get that. I'm struggling to find some coffee. Yeah. Look at that. Josh is in now. They just changed that banner. What is that banner? What is it?
Down goes the Chargers flag. Up goes the Runners flag.
Is that what it is? It's a Runners flag? Are you guys now the official home of the Runners?
30.
Sweet. JJ calling Runners games?
Who knows? I'll get the text and I'll show up.
We all will. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks. Official home of the Runners. Look at there's Bobcat on my TV as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Animal and ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
All right, here's the deal. You can tell me, all right, I like both the, I don't know, University of Washington and Michigan. You can go, and I'll preface this with, I'll still tell you not how, I'll never tell you how to be a fan, but you can, but this kind of crosses all rules, right? But if it's Michigan, Ohio State, you got to pick a side. You can tell me, oh yeah, I like the Diamondbacks and I like the Marlins. All right, that's cool. But JJ, you can't come in here, call your Bruin James, BLA, and say it's a win-win. I like the Dodgers and the Padres. I say that as a guy who grew up a Dodger fan, was in San Diego for 8 years. I have a soft spot for the Padres, right? And I've always kind of rooted for them because they've been so bad. I've always been a Tony Gwynn guy. There's always been a part of me that loved, that really like. But when it comes down to Dodgers Padres, you got like this the way it is now. Dodgers Giants, you got to pick a side, don't you?
Yes, you do. This is one where you can enjoy the game and the athletes, but if you're going to call yourself Bruin James, if you're going to be the California kid, you can't come here and say, oh, I got a fighter on both sides. Because you won't say the same thing about UCLA, USC, and that's what the Dodgers Padres are this season.
Yeah, that's my point. No, I would never go downtown. All right, like my brother just said to me. I went out to get some coffee, and he's like, if you can't pick a side, you're a Padre fan. All right, I think that's right. You're a Padre fan. JJ, you got Bruin James on your team on this one. He's yours. On the Dodger Padres thing.
Go.
Hey, Bob, Bruce just took a look at you for the first time. He didn't know what you look like. Bruce just sent me a note. He said sometimes, Bobcat looks like Bobcat. Sometimes when you see a radio voice, they look totally different than what you were expecting, but not in this case. Bobcat looks exactly as he sounds. It's from Bruce. I don't know if that's well, I think you sound good, so that means you must look good, Bob.
Well, I've always thought so. My wife does.
That's all that really matters, right? You can care less what Bruce thinks about how you look. I'm right there with
Bruce.
you.
Bruce is a good guy.
All right. Well, Bruce
Thank
now
you, Bruce.
knows what you look like. Why isn't JJ in North Carolina, Jeffrey and Bobcat? Doesn't the voice have to be with the team during the NCAA tournament? So you're the voice on the television, on the visual side, and obviously the NCAA is producing. They are producing it, right? Is there a place for people to go watch?
So the games will be available. Just got to go NCAA.com, women's soccer, boom, pull up the stream.
All right. So it's all there for you, boys and girls. It's going to be on your device. Pick your device. Pad, phone, computer, pick one. How come there's not a big watch party down at Civic Plaza for this? UNM doesn't matter, or is it just United is really good at rallying that? Why?
Well,
no, honestly,
I would be all in for that. This is one where I'm HDMI cable to the TV, going big screen NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but don't you think this would be? I mean, hell, they stream every road game they play, whether it's a friendly or a big giant match at the end of the season against the El Paso Locomotive or something. Wouldn't this be so? If Lobos win and get to the next round against TCU, do you get a watch party downtown, or does just honestly just nobody care? Their followers obviously aren't as ardent as United followers, but this feels like it would be that, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not looking to stir anything up. I'm just asking.
No, hey. But I think what New Mexico is doing. By the way, how about championship number 5, men's tennis, win the Mountain West Conference over the weekend? I think they're carrying their own weight right now, rolling along in the momentum. It's over. The Lobos.
Yeah. That's a lot of trophies. That's a lot of trophies. To win 5 championships is really, really cool. Jim is right. Friendly is the worst term in sports. You disagree, right? Friendly. Well, we're playing a friendly. Exhibition match.
What's an exhibition game?
It's a friendly. He's not wrong, though. So he said it sounds like something a parish priest. I gotta go find it now. I'll get it to you. It sounds like something a parish priest would. No, that's not. I cannot do that. What do you? Why? Maybe I should read it. That came from a trusted source, for crying out loud. I did no. Kentucky Derby's this weekend, JJ. Kentucky Derby. He says, Carl says, I think JJ agrees with me on this. This is the week of the second most overrated event in sports, next to Army-Navy football, IMO, in my opinion. For the next 5 days, these 20 horses will be hyped like global basketball recruits, the best thing ever. And then just like global basketball recruits, Sunday they'll start entering the transfer portal, and we will never hear from most of them again. You're not a big fan of this. I know that. I actually really enjoy it.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not against horse racing. It's just not what I dabble in.
You bet it? Have you ever bet the Derby?
I've never bet a horse race.
Really? You've never bet a horse race? So you wouldn't know how to go up to the window and place a bet?
Not when it, like, trifectas or exactas. I just have to spend some time reading up on it.
Yeah, and just figure out how to do it and how to read. Yeah. When I was taught to read the racing form, because it's such the intimidating piece of literature, right? You know, all the old guys are out there and they got their cigar hanging out of their face and they're staring at their newspaper and there's all these just small print numbers. But when you see what the horse has done in the last X number of races, what they do on this surface, what they do on other surfaces, what their times are, you know, their splits, and you start. And it's like fantasy football draft, dude. You outthink yourself, right? You got now you go on information overload and you totally outthink yourself. When we were Del Mar, I guess it was 2 summers ago. we were with some friends of mine. I took Audra. She'd never been to the horse races, and so she placed her first bet. And we were going to see Ziggy Marley. The concert was after the last race. We got there for the last 2 races. But the veterans, they hate those people because they always go up at the end, right? And you got just a couple minutes now to get the bet, and they got to get the bet in before it goes. Come on, hurry up. And she's up there. Oh, I want a box. What am I doing now? What? And they're like, hey, lady, let's go. But yeah, once you figure it out, and then I got that horrible story from my buddy 2 years ago where he thought he won life-changing money in the state of Nevada. I said, nope, you're capped out. Yeah, that story's one of my least favorite stories, by the way. One of my least favorite stories. But yeah, that's coming up. Bob, you like the Kentucky Derby, or you guy gets into the horse racing once a year?
Always enjoy a good horse race.
Yep. I it's one of the bastions of Americana, I still believe. I do.
And it's always been known one horse can run faster than the other. The trick is knowing which one.
Wow, I never thought I'd put that one. See, you're right. That's exactly right.
Just pick the fast one. Come on.
So I've always wondered this, and it's got to mean something, right? We've had Mike Smith on our show, the jockey who wins, who's won a number of these. How much difference, and it's got to, JJ, does the jockey make? Right? It's got to.
It has to. You're just talking about someone that's been there, done that, knows the track, really knows what a horse feels like, in terms of, he's running great here, or this is when I need to push the accelerator, or this is where I can come back from. Absolutely.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm trying to, how do I put it? Like percentage-wise, because the good ones, they're always on the good horses, right? The stables are always trying to get the best jockeys on their ride. You've got guys who've won multiples. It's not because they just happen to be sitting, just being dragged around. I wonder, I'd love to get into that. What is good jockeying? And obviously it's experience and how you're steering the horse and where you're getting him to, what your strategy is, where you want to be. Is he a late, is he good late? Do I want to get all that stuff? There's got to be a game plan, right, for every single race. I mean, it's like when I was trying to tell some of the intricacies of golf the other day, and we're just, he's like, you just hit the ball, dude. Like, I'm like, okay. It's like
you try to just hit the ball and then you lose the ball.
Yeah, you don't set up your next shot, and whatever. But it's like every game, whether it's the intricacies of the strategy, of the technology. I'm fascinated by that, and I remember just listening to Mike one time talk about on our show what makes a good jockey. Why what is it? Because I'm fascinated by it. And it's like anything else. What makes a good race car driver, right? I mean, anybody can sit behind the wheel and just it's there's got to be something in you, right? You got to have that drive, the guts to do whatever it is. But yeah, you get the Derby and you get it this weekend. All right, emails are coming in at a pretty good clip this morning, and I appreciate them. That's Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Jim doesn't like the term friendly. It is kind of a cute term, isn't it? We're playing a friendly. It is. But they're friendlies. You can watch the show, ProViewNetworks.com, or you can go to their Facebook page, our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, and you can find their YouTube page. That's ProView Networks. Hey, who watches your home when you're gone? Do you have home security? Don't wait until it's too late. International Protective Services watched my home for years. If I go out of town, let's say I'm gone on a Monday. It's garbage day on Monday. They roll out the garbage cans to the curb and back. If I have newspaper, mail to pick up, they get that. There's a package that was delivered. They'll pick that up so it's not sitting there. They do exterior checks every single day. Don't wait until something bad happens. Property crime is what it is in our town. IPS is fighting that every single day. There's a chance you signed up for another company that offered you local armed response. Then they were sold twice, and now you're in the hands of a Texas company, not what you signed for. Get a hold of IPS. Aaron's not going anywhere. He's from Albuquerque. He's passionate about Albuquerque, passionate about providing protection for your home, your family, your business that you've worked so hard to build. IPS has highly trained armed guards. Watch what's important to you when you can't be there. 24-hour patrols, armed officers who usually respond to your home alarm within 5 to 7 minutes when it goes off. Trust your protection to a company who's passionate about making our city safer to live and work. 897-2420 is the number. That's 897-2420. Or you can visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training.
right that knocked Masvidal out cold? Like the angle where he catches it on the jaw, Masvidal does, and his face turns to the right at the camera, and he's night right away, isn't he? Caught him right on the chin.
Yeah, people are saying that he wasn't fully out. It doesn't matter. He was down. Fight was over. That's a good night now moment.
Yeah, I mean, night. I don't whether he was knocked out cold or good night. Does it matter? All right, 2460610. Bring it, Marty. Good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Marty.
Good morning, gentlemen. Couple of friendly questions. Since Tom Landry's days to current, do you guys know when's the last time the playing surface at the Dallas stadiums was ever grass?
I don't. I mean, do you know the answer?
No, I don't. And then the playing surface since Lombardi's days at Green Bay, when was the last time the playing surface was artificial turf?
Cowboys say I don't know. I'm looking for it.
Okay, and then I got a couple more. Last Lobo to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
It's too easy to say Don Perkins. You know the answer to that. You know the answer to that, right?
Yes. The last Lobo to be drafted by the Green Bay Packers. I say
Who's the last Lobo to be drafted by the Cowboys?
Don Perkins.
It was Don Perkins. All right, what about the Packers?
Scott McCarron.
Scott McCarron, like 2003, 4, right in there?
Played for Rusty Long. He was a cornerback.
Yeah. So right in
this one.
I remember him.
When Gronk cut his pass, he missed the first two. From the elevation, now let's correct it to 660 because they said 600. So it's 660 world record. How fast, miles per hour, was the ball falling?
What pass are we talking about?
Gronk over the weekend caught a pass from a helicopter.
Okay, I didn't see
They
it.
dropped it at Arizona.
No idea.
A helicopter was flying over the stadium. They dropped. He used to play for Arizona, Gronk.
Okay.
Gronkowski. Okay. So there are three chances. It's World Guinness Book of Records. You didn't hear about this?
Oh.
Yeah, it was over the weekend. Well, it had to be because I read it 4 times on the internet.
Had to be. I got an answer on the grass for you. You want this answer? Ryan just came in. He's a sports information guy in Texas. It hadn't been grass since they moved out of the Cotton Bowl, and the Cowboys played in the Cotton Bowl until 1971. That's when they moved to Texas Stadium. So that was the last time their home turf was grass.
Wow.
Thank you, Ryan.
So what do you know? The question on Gronk's catching the pass.
I don't know if he gets it in. Do you know the answer to that one?
No, I don't. I was hoping somebody did because they didn't say, because when he was catching it, he was on the center of the field. It showed him moving a little bit. The ball came pretty much straight down, but the ball was following on its end. Didn't fall.
And he caught it? Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll look for it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, man. Did you know about this, JJ? And you didn't tell me that Gronk caught a ball from a helicopter.
I knew that Teddy Bruschi and Gronk were coaching the Arizona spring game this past weekend, but I did not know there was a helicopter involved.
Yeah. I have no idea.
I think the formula for figuring that out is 32 feet per second, if you can do that.
Will you work on that?
Yeah, sure. I know the formula. I don't know how to do it.
So, Jay, I had no idea that this is some record. So, what is the record? It's a 600-foot pass. So that's the record. Somebody threw it out of a helicopter. I had no idea. So he attempted to break the world record for highest altitude catch of a football ever recorded by hauling in a ball dropped from a helicopter at 600 feet. So he dropped the first two. He caught the football. So that officially made the Guinness Book of World Records. And, I mean, who knew? So 623, 600 feet. All right. I mean, so now he's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that a bucket list thing or what? That's kind of crazy. What makes you think you want to do that?
What makes you think you want to do half the things that Rob Gronkowski does?
And that's fair. And you know what? For the Arizona spring game, I mean, I guess they're not talking about the spring game anymore and how the Arizona Wildcats looked and did Teddy Bruschi's team beat Gronk's team. They're talking about this. I guess that's cool. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I like it. You know what? Put on a circus for your spring game. Bring some more people out to the game. Get people involved. Get the kids involved with the alumni involved with the kids. I'm down. I'm good.
I'm right there with you. 2 thumbs up, Arizona. Teddy Bruschi, Rob Gronkowski, getting some excitement around your spring football game.
I'm absolutely down with that. Yes, but I had no idea what Marty was talking about. I'm not gonna lie to you. None.
Yes, I agree. There were some things I was like, you know what, Marty? If you have an iPhone, Siri and or Google, caught us off guard with a couple things.
Well, yeah. Ren says if you're headed to the track, Jeff, I think you want to go with someone named Jimmy the Greek or Bobcat. Bob, you want who do you like in the Derby this weekend? I'll bet Aaron likes the Derby. You like the Derby? You a Kentucky Derby guy? Why do I just kind of think you might be?
It's because I like funny hats.
Oh, that must be it. They're not that funny. But how do you wear today? Are you on the Red Wings?
Red Wings today.
So you're a Caps and a Red Wings fan? You can be both?
Yeah, gotta have two. Gotta have one team that loses, one team that wins. That way, once one starts winning, the other one's losing, and they just kind of balance
It's the whole, I got to have an NL and AL. I got to have an AFC and NFC team.
I'm down with that.
It is.
I used to be like that all the time. Why? Why is that weird?
Well, I guess it's just the way I grew up. When I grew up in Denver, so I was just inundated with that. But I could see if you don't have a team in your city, you're kind of just, all right, what's been on TV? What did I grow up with? What did I see? Who do I like? I can understand that. I can.
I always had a team, like a favorite team, and then I had a team I liked in the other league. So like it was always the Dodgers. I liked a team in the American League. The Rams fan, but I used to like the Dolphins when I was a kid. Always had a second team. I got no problem with that. As long as when it comes down to it, you know what your allegiance is. They're playing each other in the final, the World Series, the championship game, the Super Bowl. You got to know where your allegiance is. That's why this whole Dodgers-Padres thing doesn't work for me. Like, they can't be in the same division. Well, my two favorite, I'm win-win. No matter who wins, no. USC, UCLA, no. It can't be that way. You can't like the Dodgers and the Giants, right? You can't like the Broncos and the Raiders.
You can't like the Red Wings and the Capitals. Eastern Conference foes, man. What are you doing over there?
They weren't always, though. The Red Wings used to be out west.
They did.
They did used to be out west.
One of the best rivalries in sports, Colorado and Detroit.
Yeah, just because leagues start tweaking with divisional lineups and messing, they screw with people like him, and then he's got to go get a bunch of pre-sweated caps.
It's the challenges of double fandom.
That's right.
Paint yourself into a corner too many times.
You like the Rockies and the Padres, see? I mean, theoretically, that shouldn't work.
Well, this is on Rockies management. This is their doing. For their terrible handling of that franchise, and absolutely missing an opportunity over the last few years to find stability and continue the playoff run that they were on, and trading away Nolan Arenado and giving a team like St. Louis more money, because apparently St. Louis doesn't have money to build a baseball
team
enough. Yeah. In their city. This is all on Rockies management. They did this to themselves.
Anheuser-Busch isn't selling enough beer in that town. They can't find enough money to. I'm down with you. If I can find you next time I go to SoCal, if I can find you a Padres garment, I'll make sure I grab that.
2021, the year that I was a Padres fan.
Then are you going back next year? Like, are you going back to the Rockies? How does that work?
They're gonna have to really wow me. We're talking Bachelor style stuff going on, like mending some fences. There's work to do.
All right, Ryan's doing some work for us. He says it doesn't sound right, but it looks like 133.92 miles an hour when he would have caught it. Blame Google formulas if it's wrong. It feels like it's got to be a lot more than that, doesn't it?
I got 196 and a half minus a few because that does not take into account friction, air friction.
All right. So he's got about 134. You got about 190. That's quite a variance.
Yeah.
That's
Omni calculator, free fall calculator.
On the free fall calculator.
Yes.
So does the weight of the object, it's got to matter, right? I mean,
No.
like an anvil will fall quicker than a football,
No,
right?
it will not.
It won't?
No.
So you and a baby would. Oh, that's bad.
okay. That's good. So we're dropping a baby out of a helicopter.
That's really bad. So something that weighs 160 pounds will drop the same rate as something that weighs 8 pounds.
The same amount of time, correct. I think
His keys drop the same rate as his wallet.
Yes. I think.
No way.
Leonardo da Vinci or Galileo, one of them, somebody
Galileo
went up to the Tower of Pisa or someplace like that
Magnifico.
and dropped two objects. One was a lot heavier than the other. They hit the ground at the same time.
I guess I should know that, huh? I probably studied that in second grade.
Well, my second grade was a lot longer than yours.
Well,
yeah.
What if I did it twice? I'm just.
They're like, Jeff is stuck on this baby thing. We're gonna have to work him through this. The baby does not fall faster than the grown man.
Keep dropping them and keep dropping them.
But it does bring to mind the old TV series WKRP.
That's a good one.
Nesman,
Yeah.
and he dropped a bunch of turkeys from a helicopter.
Yeah, I
He
remember
thought they
that.
could fly.
And they didn't.
And they
And
didn't.
Gronk didn't catch him. Okay. So you guys are somewhere between 140 and 190 miles an hour. Is a rough
It's
answer.
moving fast.
Yeah, because the calculator can't take into account friction of the air, which would slow it down a bit. Even if it is going point down, there's still friction involved and drag.
Can't believe 150 pounds wouldn't fall faster than something that would flutter. But all right, I'll buy it because Galileo or one of those guys.
Do we have a Lobo physics professor?
Probably. 505-246-0610.
Plenty of people just listening to the radio right now going, these guys
are
these
idiots. are just idiots. 246-0610. Come on in. Want to hear from you. How was your weekend? You ready for the draft? You had Padres, Dodgers. You had Mad Bums is really not a no-hitter. Kim Mulkey's going to LSU. Lobo baseball drops 2 of 3, although all tight with the University of Washington. Women's soccer ready to go tomorrow. Lobo tennis wins a championship. We got NBA stuff. Still got to talk about Darius Geis. All on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Business Outlook. When you
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from YAFL to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Mir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Sports Animal.
Gladiators looking for a place to play, it seems like, too. Ron just sent me this note, and it looks like they're going to play in Rio Rancho, JJ, right? They're going to play out at the Star Center, maybe.
What happened?
Well, they're just trying to figure out where to play, and then with COVID restrictions now and colors and where can they play. And but Ron said COVID is smart, Jeffy. Smartest disease ever. Your two-time defending New Mexico Gladiators, that's Duke City, can't play at the Tingley Coliseum because it's a COVID super spreader. But with a lack of roads, bridges, COVID doesn't want to sit in traffic all day to get to the west side, so the Rio Rancho Event Center is safe. Well, it's kind of, first of all, they're using the building for vaccinations. But yeah, no, it looks like they're going to play over in Rio Rancho and get that done, whether they have fans, whether they don't have fans. It's kind of a color coding thing, and they've been pushing that season back and pushing that season back. And we had this conversation off air. And I know that there's a lot of people who are dealing with this. We're coming down to, JJ, what, the last week of the regular season for high school basketball, correct?
Yes.
And I think for the most part, and probably for the total part, parents are not able to go watch their kids play. They've been watching on ProView.
Yeah, nothing in the metro area, for sure.
Nothing, because it's yellow and you can't have indoor. Churches were back to full capacity, right? Which I'm not telling you they shouldn't be. But churches are back to full capacity, right?
That's what was announced.
All right. So you can have full capacity.
So I would expect to see some fans in the stands for that state tournament then, with the home venues, and then even for the championship games.
Right?
Yep.
I'm just, if it's not like even 25%, you know, each kid gets 2 or 4 passes for his or her parents, grandparents, siblings, whatever. You guys have been in the gyms. How have the gyms been? Like, has it been eerie just being in all these local gyms and nobody's there, or
it hasn't been like an eerie? Game? But the weirdest part is free throws, because surprisingly everyone gets quiet. Like, it's weird during free throws, and I feel like all of a sudden I have to be like, Jim Nance, we're on 17.
Hello, friends. You shooting
Para lines up for the birdie putt. That's the weirdest thing. Is like everyone gets quiet on free throws. I'd be banging a chair, yelling mashed potatoes, something. But other than that, the kids have been handling it well. And
then, you're there. Parents, look, parents are frustrated. I had a good friend whose daughter was playing in the state volleyball championship at the Pit. How can I get in? Let me see what I can help you with. Parents should be at these games, don't you think? I mean, we're at that point now. Help me understand, and I'm listening. I want to learn the difference between full capacity, and I'm asking the difference not because what it's for, if it's all in the science, if it's all about health. Help me understand the difference.
That doesn't feel like a science-based decision.
Between full capacity at church and you can't have 20% capacity. The parents can't come in and watch their kids play in a high school gym or the Pit.
I don't think there's any science behind that decision whatsoever.
But everything's based. I mean, I was told over the whole time it's all based on the science. This isn't emotional or about economic impact or what's right or wrong. It's about the science.
I think it'd definitely be nice to see at this point in time, final week of the season, heading in the state tournament, which of course the games before the championship will be at home sites. Family being able to be in attendance for these games.
Yeah, yes, and you're doing it outside. Churches are open. Restaurants. What are we at? 51% vaccination rate. I saw over the weekend. 51, 52. They tell me herd immunity is 70. Correct? 75, 70. So we're really close. And well, Jeff, we're not there yet. We're close. We're not there. I get it. I get the progress. I see what's going on. I mean, JJ, with all due respect, if people can go in and watch a Laker game or a Clipper game, they can't go watch their kids play a high school basketball game in New Mexico. It's time, is it not?
No, I agree.
And you're on board. I know you are. I just this is one that's the insistence on this with the color coding and not revisiting the rules again now that all the numbers have changed, the situation has changed, is really frustrating for a lot of parents. And I know, and I get it, and I hear you. I watched my daughter play outside because, well, we played in we were up in Santa Fe for lacrosse on Saturday up at Santa Fe Prep. And I'll tell you, we had a sign in, so the one gate in, they took your temperature, and sign in. They took the temperature of every player, every coach, everybody who was on the sideline and logged it. Now, some of the temperatures were coming in a little cold at 94.1, but okay. And they're still wearing masks. But outside, dude, 4-3 was an awesome game. But I got to enjoy watching my kid play. I feel so bad for all of you who are, it's volleyball, it's basketball, that you can't go in. Now, thank goodness ProView's there, and I'm glad ProView's doing what they're doing because they're doing such a great job. But it's time, man. I mean, we're watching every arena. We're kind of. Are we behind or out front? Which one are we? Well, we're the most restrictive in America again.
There's certain areas I think that people look around and go, all right, we're getting somewhere. But then there's things like this of, all right, so you're telling me that's full capacity, but I can't see my son and or daughter play a high school game right now. Okay.
No. I know. For those of you who are there, love your thoughts because, I mean, we're on it and it's a big deal. And now you're getting to the state tournament and it's time, right? I think so. And again, if I'm wrong, I'm listening. You tell me why we would not be moving forward. Jeff, have you seen the numbers? Yeah, I have, actually. It feels like for parents, it should be time. All right, I want to reset a little bit when we get back to 246-0610. I want to get into what happened over the weekend on the baseball field, the effects of Kim Mulkey leaving, what the Niners are going to do to get the draft started at number 3, Steph Curry's record as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck, Aaron's producing for you on the ProView Network side. Bobcat on radio on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
double
on the
pump slam. Wow.
Zay, can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
But before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Z-Man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
5.9 FM. 610.
At New Mexico
The
Highlands University,
sports animal.
you're more than a student, you're family.
All right, we're
Whether
draft
you're
week
taking
now.
courses
Now
in
you can get serious about it. What do you mean, Jeff? I've been watching the whole thing. Or I haven't given a dang. All right. This is your week. You all come together. You all come together because on Thursday. I tell you, and I've kind of moved on this, JJ. You know, up until like last year, I watched the Zoom draft, right? Last year's crazy, weird. I wanted to see how that was. I am kind of looking forward to watching this on Thursday night to see. And the Rams don't even have a pick. But I'm a little bit fascinated this year. And I know that every year it's the same talk, and it's Mel Kiper, and it's McShay, and whoever CBS's Jerry Palm is, and everybody's got their thing. But I am intrigued because I think there's some really good plays. Like when you get out of the quarterback, when you grade out the top 1 and 2 at every other position, whether it's lineman, tight end, DB, there's some players. And so these teams who are not looking for a quarterback that are drafting like the mid, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's some value in there, man. And it's that's why for a guy who I don't normally watch the draft, or at least it's not must-see TV for me, I'm going to watch.
The quarterbacks are absolutely intriguing, but to your point, the players that are going to get pushed down, there's going to be really good players available outside the top 10. You could still probably get the second-best tackle off the board. Potentially, you're looking at the
Tommy
best
on the line. Tommy.
linebacker going 10, best edge rusher down in the teens in a draft, and those things are usually pushed up based on need.
Saying.
But it's also just the quarterback position, and I think the talk about how to handle it overall is the quarterback is inflated. Their value is inflated in the draft. Yes, there are quarterbacks that are selected higher than probably what their talent says they are, but it's the biggest position of need for these franchises. Then also seeing what happens outside of that, and with the veteran quarterbacks, and if San Francisco makes that pick at 3, and if it is a quarterback, whichever one they take, does then Jimmy Garoppolo come back on the board for a late round pick? Because at that point in time, you realize, you know what, we're not getting a first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. That ship has sailed. But then that comes into the conversation. And then you could have Jimmy Garoppolo being moved for a second day pick. Someone probably going to trade a 5th or 6th round pick and get Teddy Bridgewater just to be their veteran backup. So there's things like that are still going to happen after the top 3. But all eyes are on what San Francisco does, and does it create a feeding frenzy if Justin Fields is available at 4?
And you think he's the only one that would create that frenzy, right? You think he's the only one that teams would have rated as the number 2 or 3 guy, that if he slips past 3, people are going to go nuts, right? They're not going to, I just don't think we see Zach Wilson fall, right? But don't you think if Zach Wilson was available too, which he won't be, but my point is not Trey Trey Lance and not Mac Jones, there's not a feeding frenzy for, right? It's who slips past 3. If Fields and or Zach Wilson are on the board, then you go nuts. Otherwise, you could see it where it just plays out and guys start falling into their slotted spots.
Yes, I think Justin Fields would be the guy that teams would be willing to throw in that extra first-round pick.
Not Zach Wilson?
To get. I don't think Zach Wilson's fallen. I think it's pretty much a given.
I don't either.
That it's
either.
Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson going 1 and 2 to Jacksonville and the Jets. And then I'm getting this odd feeling, though, the more I read. And you have to pick and choose because, teams aren't going to tell you the truth at this point in time. So you're hearing a lot from so many different sources. But kind of the closer we get to Thursday and just all that I'm reading, what we know about what San Francisco wants to do, I could actually also see these teams staying back and saying, all right, is this guy going to fall? Could we actually see a Justin Fields, and Trey Lance be there at that swing, 8, 9, 10, and then someone, say it's the New England Patriots at that point in time, feels they can get a better deal, maybe swapping places with Dallas to grab one of these guys.
Well, I think really what it comes down to is the round, right? Who's there and who's what's Atlanta going to do, and then who's there? Because I JJ, just think you start looking at it. 3 and 4 are going to dictate this draft to me, at least the quarterbacks in this draft. 3, who do the Niners take, and then what does Atlanta do? Do they decide to trade the pick to somebody who's going to take another quarterback, or do they just go best player available, Kyle Pitts, take a tight end, and then if that's the case, then I think things start to even out, and again, you might at that point just have this thing played out, without a lot of moves. This goes either way, because if there's one move, I think there's a bunch of moves. But
yes,
that's kind of where I am.
It could be the wild, wild west if Justin Fields drop, or everyone just kind of holding their cards waiting. Like, check. Like, no one wants to raise at that point in time, and just to see how it kind of plays out, because you don't assume Atlanta is going to be taking one of those guys. Cincinnati has their dude. Detroit, he just acquired Jared Goff. He's got some money on his contract. Do you think this is reaching for the future? Carolina. So until you get to Denver, I think there's the assumption that those teams don't want to take the quarterback in those places.
Yeah, and then Denver could, then it just comes down to, okay, if your quarterbacks then are Trey Lance, or let's just say Mac Jones, is that just another Drew Lock situation? Do you go out and get the best player available? Do you get a good defensive back? What do you do at that point? Because are you putting your franchise back another 3-4 years as you develop another quarterback?
And Mac Jones would be the guy that I'd say, good on you as you move on wherever you go. I just don't have a great feeling about Mac Jones. So I would, if I'm Denver at that point, I guess Trey Lance would intrigue me, but I think it's Justin Fields or bust for them at the quarterback position, and then you just give kind of Drew Lock one more last hurrah to see if he develop into a quarterback.
Yeah, and then if it's Trey Lance or bust, or Justin Fields or bust, what do you do with Trey Lance if he's sitting there? Is he intriguing enough to you at that position? And if Justin Fields is available after 3, what's it worth to you to trade up and go out and get him? 505-246-0610. There's calls coming in for one of the best receivers in the game, too. Would the Falcons consider trading Julio? It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
The computer hit JJ, go.
What up? Merry Monday to you. Opening drive at 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. I was just expecting that that break to carry us all the way to the top. No?
The computer hiccuped.
What did it do?
Didn't go to the top.
All right.
Fair enough. Didn't play what it said it was going to play.
Yeah. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Bobcats producing for you and playing with computer hiccups, diagnosing them. He's the computer hiccup doctor. Aaron produces for you downtown on ProView Network. Double fives for you. Hey, Falcons are getting calls about Julio Jones. Are the Falcons, do they think they just had a hiccup of a year? Do they think they're really the fourth worst team in the NFL? Because I think they think they've got a good quarterback. They want to make a run still with Matt Ryan and don't think that they're in rebuild mode.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the contracts that they're saddled with, and one of those contracts is Julio Jones.
Yep.
So it kind of forces you to think you're closer than you really are, because there's not much you can do with Matt Ryan. You can't have that big of a cap hit and eat it for 2 years and not try to get anything out of Matt Ryan. And I think Matt Ryan is, most people look at him and still think he's good. He can be successful. Calvin Ridley as a standout, but with Julio Jones, he's 32, missed 7 games last year. I think that's why there's talk about potentially trying to move his salary, and if they trade him after June 1st, so it wouldn't be something that would impact this year's draft, they could split his salary over 2 years, and that's the front office management, all the bookkeeping stuff, to where he's been one of the best players in your franchise's history, but he's 32, starting to miss some time and costing you money.
If they move him before June 1st, they get a dead money hit of $23.25 million, and they got no room. And that's, to your point, their issue is the contracts. They've got nowhere to go, and they're really struggling on this thing. really, really struggling. So that's why they're entertained. I don't think this happens. What's the cost for a 32-year-old really good receiver? I mean, I'm going to go. Brandon Cooks was younger when the Rams gave a number one, but he wasn't as good, right? When the Rams traded, was it with New England, right, for that number one to get Brandon Cooks 4, 5, 6 years ago? Julio Jones better than Brandon Cooks ever was, but I don't know if he's that good anymore at 32 and injured quite a bit. What's the cost for someone who wants to take on that salary and take Julio Jones, because he's still really, really good?
Probably third-round pick.
A third round, yeah. And so how do you sell your fans? We just traded our best player for a third-round pick. They don't care about your salary.
It depends on who you get at 4. Because you go, all right, Julio, thanks for the memories. Here's Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts.
Okay. I mean, I don't know that says we don't need Julio anymore, where you just got a third for him, but okay. Yeah, if you've got Kyle Pitts, and so maybe that is where they're going. I mean, they've got, as far as all these people making decisions at the top of the draft, what are the Niners going to do with their quarterback and all? To me, the biggest decision, the biggest move, the general manager who's got the toughest decision to make is Atlanta, don't you think? Because they're probably sitting here looking at 4 to 5 really attractive offers for that 4. Kyle Pitts is sitting there at 4. Don't you think that's the biggest decision in the top 10?
If you get a good offer, you trade out of 4. Because if you get someone desperate for a quarterback, if you get a first-round pick next year, a second, and you maybe have to swap 4th, you trade that pick for someone who's desperate. If you get a team that is desperate and they're like, all right, here's our first this year, here's our first next year, here's a second and a third, you make that move in a heartbeat.
Well, it depends how far you're dropping down now, right? If you're dropping down to 9 or is 15 too far?
Kyle Pitts is good, but you know what? At 15, you get Jalen Waddle.
Okay, so you would go as far as 15.
If you're dropping down to 15 from 4, the Patriots are going to have to give up more than they want. And
that's what I'm saying. It's this year's first, next year's first. This year, I want a second this year, and I want a second next year. Give me Patriots next year's first and 2 seconds. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Now,
that's where my hesitation is in this quarterback market, even if Justin Fields is sitting there at 4, because a lot of teams are going to want to trade back. And then so does that then change how the bidding goes? Because I'm sure Detroit's like, yeah, we'll trade out of this. That sounds
Detroit
fantastic. And then moving on down. So what is going to drive up the price? Is it going to be the quarterback, or is it going to be or drive down the price, knowing that, you know what, we'll wait. We know you ain't going to take the quarterback at 4, so we'll have our conversation with Detroit then.
Well, and it's who else is looking to come up into that spot. That's what you've always got to be worried about. Well, Detroit's not going to take a quarterback, and they're not going to. Well, but who else needs a quarterback that may move up and steal your guy, right? And that's the part that typically you don't know. You can listen to Adam Schefter all you want. Well, the Patriots are trying to get a hold of this. Well,
yeah, but I do not see that organization trading 2 to 3 first-round picks. That's what it's going to take to move 15 to 4.
Yeah. He's traded first-round picks before. It's not like they built that with first-round picks. Look over the years. They haven't built their roster with first-round picks. Now, he needs a quarterback. He's in a position that he's never really been in before in 20 years. He's got to find a quarterback. So
Patriots are not getting the 4th pick in this draft.
I agree with that. I think I agree with that. You said earlier that maybe Jim Garoppolo slides, right? So second, third, can you see later in the draft or even the day after it's all done, the Patriots ain't going back for the Garoppolo thing? Or you think that's just, there's no way Jim Garoppolo?
I guess everyone keeps talking about it, so you have to believe that somewhere Bill Belichick is still hiding the picture of Jimmy Garoppolo, thinking what could have been, what could be. And I don't think it would be after the draft. If you're trading Jimmy Garoppolo, you're San Francisco, you'd probably be like, hey, give us the pick we can use right now.
Okay.
Give us that second rounder this year.
So it could happen on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. If they get the quarterback they want, it plays out how they hope it plays out to be, then they're like, yep.
Well, they can have they know what they're getting. Like they know, and San Francisco knows what they're getting. The only way that happens is if New England stays put, they don't move their pick, and whoever's left, or they don't get one of those guys. They don't get who they need, because there's going to be extra quarterbacks as this all starts to slide. Right, you got 5 franchise quarterbacks coming in the league. Right, five teams are going to leave this draft going, we got our guy. Whether they do or they don't, they're going to believe they have their guy. Sam, so there's going to be the Teddy Bridgewaters, the Jim Garoppolo's, there might be a Derek Carr sitting out there. The Raiders to me are one of the wild cards in this thing. I could see him doing something crazy and jumping up and deciding he wants a quarterback if his guy's there. There's going to be guys that are to be had. I just don't think New England wants another guy. Let's go back to Fine again. I just don't think that's what they're looking for. So, all right, 505-246-0610. It's where we are today, 888-922-0610. I got good emails coming in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Also coming in, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Follow JJ on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Also over the weekend, Kim Mulkey left Baylor. She was there 21 years, the head coach at Baylor for women's basketball. She's going to LSU. She's from Louisiana, played at Louisiana Tech, going back to the state of Louisiana. I thought that was a big deal. How much NBA did you watch this weekend? Did you do NBA, or are you more baseball and watching the NASCAR? And what did you catch Steph?
Steph, the Nets, some chicken nuggets, and then I got you covered on the NBA.
Yeah, Steph and the Nets. Steph set the NBA record for threes in a month, 85 threes in a month. So what does that mean? What's perspective on it? The previous record was James Harden, who hit 82 in November. Steph's got, I think, 2 games left, and he's hit now 80, 87, 83? 85, and counting. He's averaging 38.2 points. Like, he shoots a lot, but his make percentage from 3 is startling to me. And I know I've fawned over him, and I continue to, because every time I watch it, it just still amazes me. It just still does.
He's good. Like, and I think for some people, they just thought he was like this gimmicky guy. It's a challenge this year, and I think Steph is taking it on himself, because I don't think people put Steph in the category he thinks he should be in. And some of it too is the Warriors aren't good, but they're also not even a top 8 team right now. And so that's got to hurt Steph Curry. And it's one of those things you look at and go, yeah, dude, you're amazing. But your team is a play-in tournament squad. And so that's got to be fueling him, motivating him. And he's unstoppable. He's been unstoppable when he's on. Because I think they're going to get into the playoffs. I think the play-in tournament, they can win 2 games in that because of Steph Curry, and then just try to do something wild like Steph Curry against the Phoenix Suns or Utah Jazz at that point in time. It would be a tough series, but they're not going to win. And I think that's got to be motivating, but also incredibly frustrating for Steph.
Yeah. Well, especially because he's won, right? He's won at that level. He knows what it's like. And so I don't think Steph's making scoring at this clip and setting these records if Klay Thompson's healthy, just because there's someone to share the load with. But he's doing what he's got to do. They're currently in 10th. They're comfortably in the tournament. 3 games out of not being in the play-in tournament. So they're going to be in it. Right now they would play San Antonio. I think they're better than San Antonio, don't you?
No.
You don't.
Steph, no, they're not a better team than
I think he's the difference maker.
Yeah.
Like, who would you not pick them against? Right now the tournament is Portland, Memphis, and then San Antonio, Golden State. Were they playing?
Like, I think so. I think San Antonio is a better team than Golden State, but Steph can win 2 games. Does that make sense, or is that just
it totally makes sense.
Like
that's
the way I see it.
That team's better, but the other guy is the best guy on the floor, and he's going to be the difference maker. Yeah. It's a Dame Lillard kind of a thing. No, I absolutely get it. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to hit some Major League Baseball when we get back as well. Oakland was hot. Padres are hot. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You're watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez.
College Football Playoff Management Committee, JJ, opened the door to the possibility of expansion of the playoff. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. The CFP Management Committee has put out models for 8, 6, 10, 12, 16 teams in the playoff. Although Bill Hancock said there will not be a new format this season or next season, the timetable is certainly important detail, but it's not been determined yet. It's too soon to predict the timing, but even if the board decides to alter the format, it may well not occur until after the current agreement expires, which isn't until after the 2025 season. Encouraging to you that they're at least having the conversation now? Because I know you want this.
It is. I think 8 makes so much sense because then you get the power conferences, they're happy. And it still has emphasis on the regular season. It doesn't take away. It actually puts more on it because it says, it rewards you for winning your conference. And you know for sure, boom, here we go. Here's our 5 conference champs. And then I'd love to see if they could sneak in highest rated at-large team. And then you're battling out for the 2 spots after that. Which
highest rated at large or group of 5?
I mean group of 5, yes. Okay. So I'd look to sneak in the highest rated group of 5 team. And then it's, all right, who came up just short but is still a fantastic football team, put them in, let's go, hoorah.
What do you do with the independents? So BYU, Notre Dame, New Mexico State, Massachusetts, Liberty run the table. They earn their way into one of those 8 spots. Is that an at-large or is that in place of the group of 5?
At-large.
Okay. I think that's right. I think that's how that would have to be. Yeah. I wouldn't expect anything before the current deal expires, right? I would assume that's just how that's going to play out, which is another, 5 years of football. And then the initial 12 years will be up, and I would assume at that point that's where they go to do something different. All right, if you're just joining us, great baseball over the weekend. Dodgers-Padres is terrific. Fernando Tatis is on a run. First shortstop to homer in 3 games ever at Dodger Stadium for any team. He got to a point where, I don't know if you watched the game. What was the game last night? 8 hours long? I mean, it just kept going and going and
Extra
going.
innings, a lot of runs.
Clayton Kershaw was a pinch hitter because the Dodgers were out.
With the bases loaded.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, everybody was out of position players. Padres win 8-7, take 3 out of 4 from L.A. Dodgers are up 3 games in the standings early. The rivalry, I don't know if the Dodgers need to get more up for this, or maybe it doesn't matter. Padres could drop 3 in a row to the Brewers, and nobody cares because they got the Dodgers coming up, and they are so pumped for every aspect of playing L.A. They're the young guns, up and coming, put together, going after the champs. The Dodgers, and this is probably how it should be when you're the champions, there's a feeling it's just, who are these guys? They've taken notice now. Don't get me wrong. They've taken notice, and they know it's heated, but I don't see the emotion in L.A. And that's probably how that's supposed to be when those two teams get together for these regular season games.
I don't think that should be the case at all. The Dodgers should care about this. That is the team that can end your division streak right there. The Padres are good enough to do that.
That's right.
You won the World Series last year. And you can say, all right, who have you done it? That doesn't mean you're going to win it this year. And they do already have a postseason series under the belt. They played last year. And so you got a little bit of that. This isn't just the Padres showing up this season screaming at the Dodgers. They know, all right, you got us last year in the playoffs. You won the World Series, but guess what? We ain't going anywhere. We're right back here on your heels. And so the Dodgers absolutely should be putting emotion into this series because this is going to decide the division.
I think the Dodgers taking notice. I don't think that they're going to get as emotional each time out as the Padres do. I don't think they're going to react. Although, if they would have had a walk-off yesterday, they'd have gone nuts. But you go nuts on a Tuesday night game in Cleveland too, right? When you have a walk-off. I think it would have meant something to them. And I think now that they just got 3 out of 4 taken from, I think it's got their attention. I think, the intensity, you're going to see benches clear more. Heck, it already did down in San Diego in the first and second games. So you'll see it. The Padres are chirping a lot. And that's fine. They just took 3 out of 4. Dodgers left men in scoring position. By the way, Dodgers Bellinger's out. They're beat up. At some point, you're going to get your MVP back in the lineup too, right?
Oh, yeah, and that's a huge part of this. Right now, the Dodgers dealing with some more issues. It's going to pop up for the Padres at some point in time later this summer, but that's why, there are games in a long season. There are specific series that you can point at and go, this is going to mean more than others. You still got to beat the Rockies and Giants in that division, handle your business, but Padres, Dodgers, they're the two that are going to be going head-to-head for this division. So absolutely more weight on these specific series, especially if it's close and you're coming down to tiebreakers.
No, I agree. I think it's fun to watch. I mean, just good baseball. It was intense baseball last night. It felt like postseason. It was late April. It was intense watching the Dodgers and Padres. Did you catch the A's act? 13 games in a row. The Orioles beat them yesterday to snap a 13-game winning streak. They lose 6 in a row to start the season and then go on a 13-game winning streak. And I'm looking at who they're playing and how they're playing, and I'm thinking, are they that good? And it feels like every A's team every year, young guys that you kind of got to be introduced to because you don't know all of these guys. Bob Melvin does a hell of a job, by the way. He might be the best manager that nobody ever talks about.
Yes. And the A's are doing it a little bit different because the last few years they have a couple of cornerstone players. You'll get Chapman and then Olsen in the lineup, and there's still that element of Moneyball. They went on a super, like a Costco-style run for them, winning 13 in a row. And it's one where that division, I buy the A's are that good in that specific division. Now, overall, I don't think they have the pitching necessarily to make a deep postseason run, but playoff team winning that division, yes.
It sounds like the A's every year then.
Yeah. It's your Oakland Athletics.
Yeah.
Formula to be right there, get to the playoffs, and just not have enough.
They typically go for that, go on that run in August, right? You just don't see it usually this early for them. The other big story in baseball last night, Madison Bumgarner did not allow a hit and threw a complete game, but it's not a no-hitter. How can that be, Jeff? Because it was the second game of a doubleheader. And doubleheaders are 7-inning games, and baseball does not recognize no-hitters that are not 9 innings or more. And according to baseball's rules, for a team or a person to be recognized to have recorded a no-hitter, the game must be 9 innings. That's baseball. That's what I've been saying about the game. I know people, well, they should play 7 innings. I still think doubleheader should be 9 innings. I think baseball game, now you've altered the game. You've altered the strategy of the game. Give me another game that gets shortened. Like you play different timed games. There isn't one, right? NBA, all your games.
Give me another game you play 2 in one day.
You don't. It is only, it's only baseball. Okay, I don't. So point to point. But you're playing different games than you play every other day, right? You're playing a 7-inning game. Certainly, the way bullpens are lined up, the strategy of the game
It's
now.
a different strategy, but isn't that what people love about baseball? Is that why they rail against the American League and the DH? Is there no strategy involved? Now it's shortened, and you got 2 7-inning games. Yeah, I don't mind it for a doubleheader. At this point in time,
I don't like it. I just play baseball. If you're gonna play a 9-inning game, all right, we're gonna play. And to your point, so you play a basketball game. Yeah, we're gonna shorten the quarter. We're only gonna play half of the second or the fourth quarter. Or
if you're playing 2 in one day, you do that.
Would they? Would they? I watch AAU games all the time. They're all the same amount.
Well, they don't care about the kids.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll never know if they're going to. Not everybody would play now, but not everybody plays anybody anyway. But load management, if you had to play 2 games in one day, oh, can you imagine? I can't be expected to play 2 games in one day. Yeah, look, I get it. It's different. To me, a baseball game's 9 innings. Major League Baseball game's been 9 innings. Aaron, you look like you agree. You don't agree with me? Yeah, he kind of shook his head. Yeah. I think most people agree with me on that. All right, 505-246.
But does it really matter?
Does it
really matter?
It probably does to Madison Bumgarner last night. He didn't get no hitter.
Okay.
Which breaks nobody's heart, by the way.
You look back at the 20 runs he gave up in his first 2 outings. Go, had the opportunity there. Shucks.
Yeah. He chose poorly when to have his good stuff and his bad stuff, is what you're telling me? All right. I mean, that's fine.
One thing to be locked in for 7 innings. It is different, yes. But I get it for a doubleheader.
Yeah, all right. Come on in. And what your thoughts on the big weekend? What your thoughts on the Usman Masvidal fight? He's crazy. That big right hand, good night. Chris Weidman's injury, if you want to get in on that. Kim Mulkey leaving Baylor, headed to LSU. The Padres and Dodgers is always good. The NBA was good as well. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck.
Well, speaking of the difference between 7 innings and 9 innings, you might not need as much in the tank to go 7, but you need to be ready for 9. So let me tell you about F45 functional training. F45 has helped me get serious about my fitness again, and it is time to take control of your fitness. With F45 functional training, you're hitting cardio, you're hitting strength, you're hitting full body workouts in a manageable class. Yes, 45 minutes for F45. It's a gym that brings it all together with high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. So check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app to see the schedule of classes. Classes are available 7 days a week. Keep saying it. Yes, you hear me talk about it. The Saturday and Sunday morning classes come in clutch when you have a busy schedule. and it gives you the motivation you need to be hungry to stay on track the rest of the week. But they do have classes available every single day, so you're going to find one that works for you. F45, the atmosphere is great. The trainers are awesome. They help motivate and modify if needed. The circuit workouts, it's a new challenge every day, a different workout on deck to keep your mind and body moving forward. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can check the gym out as well. It's 5920 Holly Northeast. Good access from wherever you're coming from in the city. So don't wait any longer. Create your own gym identity at F45. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Today, can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
They get a bunch of good NBA tonight as they go down the stretch. High school basketball, JJ, final week of the regular season. You and ProView, and you guys are everywhere. What am I looking for? Because there's going to be good teams that are not going to make it into the reduced state tournament format, and it really is relying on this week.
The biggest result was Atrisco Heritage beating Cleveland by 2 on Friday night, so they are tied atop the district. So, and then the tiebreaker after that, I think, is point differential in the matchup, which I believe is advantage Cleveland at this point in time. So that's one to watch, because whoever doesn't win the district between those two teams is getting an at-large bid, but it's still a great race. What we're seeing, Las Cruces is absolutely rolling, defending 5A state champs coming in, and then how the final week plays out with El Dorado. They'll be playing like 4 games in 4 days, just to make up a bunch, going off the 2-week pause.
Oh no! Can they play 7-inning games? Sorry.
And nothing wrong with 7-inning doubleheader in Major League Baseball. But yeah, so it's a lot down the stretch, and that's just, of course, 5A, and then it gets tighter as you go because there's more districts, 4A, 3A, which then there's 2 at-larges, 1 at-large. So all the emphasis on winning your district this year.
All right, and the girls are going to be the same way and everything, and hopefully, if you can't, well, you can't get into the gym to see them. You can watch them on ProView, but hopefully at some point, maybe there's some changes to guidelines, protocols, health orders that allow parents to get into the gyms and see their kids play basketball. Hopefully, as we go through this final week and then into the state. And again, the state tournament, the format is different for people who don't know because of everything that we're going through. Only, JJ, correct, the final day, just the finals will be in the pit. Everything else will be on campus, correct? In on-campus gyms?
Yes.
It's a big difference, right? Once you got down in the past to, I think it was the final 8, right? Quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals were all for the big schools in the pit. You were using the Star Center and other venues, certainly, but this year it is different. And you got a lot of high school basketball this week, so you've got a lot to watch. Tomorrow, Lobo women's soccer versus Navy. Have you learned anything about Navy? Is there anything that I don't know how much I kind of put you on the spot here on this one, and I apologize, but what because yesterday or last week we talked about this feels like a good matchup. It feels right for them, but I say that, and what the hell do I know about Navy? Oh, they're 4-4-1, and they won their conference tournament in extra time. But what do you know?
Navy got hot at the right time to win their conference tournament. They had to grind out a couple games in their conference tournament. They are a team that's pretty much built, you'd say built defensively, but the goals for and goals against is about 1-to-1 a game. So there's nothing that necessarily wows you. 3 clean sheets in 10 games that they played this year. They have a freshman goalkeeper that came on really strong to end the season in Maddie Gallagher. But this is advantage New Mexico. They're the better team on the field. They're the favorites. I guess if you had to put odds on it, I would say New Mexico is the favorite to handle their business against Navy. There should be plenty of goal scoring opportunities, and then it's just keeping it clean, not making the mistake on the back end. And that's what happened early. The Lobos made a mistake defensively. The Aztecs capitalized, and right there with 4 seconds left, the same thing happened. So clean soccer should put the Lobos in a really good position on Tuesday, and then it's into the 4-seed TCU, but it's the NCAA tournament, and this is what it's all about.
I look at it in, would you rather get a bye or would you rather have this situation? And I think as you sit here beforehand, you always want the bye. I think when all's said and done, it's a good position because even if they don't get through TCU, they'd have gone to the tournament and won a game. And I think there's something to that as opposed to potentially, and look, everything's about winning, but potentially getting in and losing in that first match, it's a different feel. If you get in and go 1-1 or 2-1, I think getting the experience under their belt is really good for this program. For a program who hasn't been to the NCAA tournament since 2011, it's been 10 years, that I think wants to get in a season where you didn't get to play non-conference competition, right? Go out and do something different. I think playing in this first match I mean, assuming you win, everything's presumptive upon that. But assuming you win could be a really good benefit for this team and this program to go out and get that NCAA win and start moving the program forward, no matter what happens in the next round.
Yeah, I think you're right about where the program sits right now. If you're one of those top 16 seeds, you're in a different level of expectations. And New Mexico's not there yet. So just getting to the tournament is huge because they've been close the last few years, coming up short in the conference tournament. But now having this opportunity where you got a chance to go out there, beat Navy, and then go up against a fantastic team in TCU is the right step for this program right now.
So that's all tomorrow, 4 o'clock. They are already in North Carolina. JJ is not going. I know, but I keep getting the emails. Why isn't the voice? I wish we were doing it on the radio.
That would have been
wish
fun.
They were sitting. Yeah, you probably would have had it done it off of watching it anyway. Where is the town? Is it outside Charlotte? Is it near Raleigh? Do you know what's the town they're playing in? What's it called?
Did not know what exact venue they're playing in. That's a
I don't
fantastic
either.
question. I was just looking at the matchups, etc. But they're using multiple venues in North Carolina: Wake Forest, UNC Wilmington, Greensboro. They're utilizing multiple facilities because the first round is today and tomorrow. That's all they're playing. All these games today.
So kind of up there,
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, that Tobacco Road between it's like an hour, 45 minutes from Wake Forest up to Raleigh. Yeah, it's probably about an hour 15 minutes. So you've got going west to east. There's Winston-Salem and then Greensboro, and then you hit Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh, and so they're all right there within that drive. So and it's the right way, and that's how they've been doing everything in regards to NCAA tournaments and trying to reduce the travel. Did you see the story about the Central Michigan quarterback? And I'm going to reach out to them. I saw it last night. John Keller is the quarterback there. He was one of 2 shooting victims. There was an off-campus party on Saturday night. He's in serious condition. The other Central Michigan student who was shot is in stable condition. But I guess that there were several people arrived at a party shortly after. There was a fight, and bang, bang. And so your thoughts go out. Look, I mean, this happens all the time when it's an athlete. It makes different headlines. But just because I'm reading Bob Davies is the president there, people that we hosted here in New Mexico 2 years ago, JJ, Jim McElwain, of course, the head coach, and Rob Akey and President Davies. Thoughts go out to them. This is just horrible. And I mean, I'm not looking for big commentary on this. It's just one of those things that you probably saw the headline hit the other day and just went gulp, right? I mean, that's all you can do. You hope the young man survives.
Yeah, we wish the best for the victim in this, and unfortunately, it's a headline that hits close to home.
Now that we're opening up, Addie said to me that I told you this, I think, with all the mass shootings, like now that COVID, we're coming out, does that mean we're back to gonna have mass shootings? Are there gonna be school shootings again? And I'm like, babe, maybe. Like it does seem like there's been a lot of shootings though, doesn't there? And we're sitting around talking about, yeah. All right, I want to wrap things up when we get back. I want to end strong. I want to hit on the NBA stuff again. Darius Geis is another piece that we got to hit on too, JJ. It's not often that a school cuts ties with a guy so prominent in their record book in a major sport, but certainly that's what happened with LSU. I'll explain that. If you want to still get in, you can. 505-246-0610. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Why so serious?
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Cases of what you saw. You saw Darius Geis at LSU. You saw Reggie Bush win the Heisman. Even though it doesn't exist and even though it never happened. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. LSU plans to ban Darius Geis, their former running back, from the athletic department, from everything that has to do with LSU. They plan on removing his statistics from the record books. Geis starred for the Tigers from 2015 through 2017. He was accused of sexual assault last year by 2 former students. In addition to that, 2 separate allegations when he was at LSU. He was arrested on a domestic violence charge last year. Those charges prompted Washington to waive him, the Washington football team. He's 5th on their all-time career rushing list, tied for 7th in career touchdowns. But this is the whole thing, and I don't know if they'd have done this, JJ, if it was just Darius Geis. And look, that you've got guys that leave your school and leave your program and go on and do whatever, good and bad. But this really is another piece of the scandal that ensnared Les Miles. That got Les Miles fired at Kansas when this came out. That was just last month because of the inappropriate behavior alleged at LSU. So the decision really to get rid of Geis and scrub his records, there's a third party, JJ, that's investigating all this. I don't know what it means in the long term to LSU. So is that right? Did you scrub him from your record books? I mean, it still happened. Like, I get it. You don't want him with the athletic department. You could take him off. He was still there. Don't you have to, no matter what he did, O.J. Simpson's still in USC's
At some point in time,
books,
you have to take a stand. And this is LSU trying to cover up for themselves, too, because they were messy in it. There's some stuff talked about cover up in the athletic department. Some issues. You saw what a president stepped down ultimately at Oregon State. That was at LSU. This was a bad situation for them. And so this is them definitely trying to save face. And I don't care if we saw him run. You should face consequences. And if you're just, you're taking away records from him, okay. If you're a bad person and they take away records from you, so be it.
Yeah, I don't know that it's taking away records. His name appearing or now not appearing, does it make a difference? Like when you look down a list of players, to just erase it and say, well, he never played.
People don't even know who Darius Geis is.
That's fine. That's fine.
Unless you're at LSU.
Okay. I mean, he played. He put up those numbers. I
but
don't know that
the stuff happened while he was at LSU.
Yeah, no doubt. So you're telling me, well, but it happened. It happened under. He shouldn't have been eligible. He shouldn't have been playing. I'm down with that.
He shouldn't have been able to play it. That stuff came out. That's why they're moving all these things around. People losing their jobs.
Yeah, losing their careers, their livelihood. These people who are involved with this. This is really big scale stuff. This is just below, to me, because of the cover-up. You know, after what happened at Penn State and Baylor, this is pretty big stuff, I think.
Terry,
because it was systemic, it was recurring, and it was people at the highest level, allegedly, involved with this. Right?
Yeah, and it's wrong. It's the mess we saw happen at Baylor. It's looking the other way for a student athlete, which is not right. And the taking away records doesn't change what happened, but there's got to be consequences at some point. If you're telling me you're not in the record book anymore, okay.
Yeah, all right. Terry, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. It kind of amazing a year goes by, and thank you, ProView, for everything you do. But last year when I sent in an email about I wish parents could watch the games right when they, broke down the state basketball tournament and just said students only, and you guys I was glad ProView could do it, but, it's nice when parents can attend, and hopefully just we can turn lemon into lemonade. And unfortunately, maybe people can share their, the sadness of what they missed watching their kids, what their kids missed, anywhere from AYSO all the way up through state high school championships, and say, hey, the next time you see somebody go, oh, I got to get my kid to practice, just say, hey, there was a day when we didn't have practice to go to and watch or take them to. So from that side, I wish the parents could figure out a way to get them in, but so be it. But then on to baseball, one day it looks like the Major League wants to turn it into a cricket match, and then the next game they want to say, hey, sun's going down, we're late for dinner, let's cut it short. But JJ, you can go, it's a movie way before your time, but it was called Meatballs with Bill Murray. So the next time Jeff says something you're not in with, you can just tell him, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But if you ever get to watch the movie, you'll do it. But back to cricket, I think I got to get on Bob just a little bit. Remember Micah? Micah got us that security is much better at cricket matches than the Super Bowl. So I think we need to have Bob come up with a little side barbs on his side to contribute. But on that lighthearted note, sorry I called right after you guys got very serious with all the other sports because – yeah, I maybe Baylor now has something in the running because I thought we could have a contest, not a contest, but people call in who's had the two slimiest coaches at their school, and I thought Dave Bliss and Art Briles took the cake, but maybe LSU's going to come up there with something that's even as slimy, if not more slimy than that. But on a note, you guys have a great day. Women Lobos, tear it up tomorrow. Enjoy, and you all be safe. Take care.
Thank you, Terry. Boy, there was a lot in there. He certainly gave ProView the praise. We're not going to do slimiest pair of coaches today, but there was a lot in there.
I'm trying to figure out what he wanted me to come up with.
He wants you to do something. So Micah used to do like he would come up with a scout for the first game, or he's trying to come up with an assignment for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. We'll work on it too. There was something else in there? I don't know. There was a lot in there.
Being able to take the kids to the games.
Oh, going to practice. Yeah, be careful. We talk about practice, man. Got the whole schedule for practice today. We got 2 games this week, JJ. Should they shorten the lacrosse match? They got to play Wednesday and Saturday. Should they shorten it? Kidding,
no.
Kind of. Yeah, because there's days in between. I understand the difference. I understand. Baseball should be 9 innings.
Weren't you just saying that game lasted forever?
It lasted forever, and I watched the whole damn thing.
The doubleheader needs to be 9 innings.
The game lasted forever, and I watched the whole damn thing.
You didn't turn on Arizona and Atlanta at one moment on Sunday.
Not once. No, not once.
So why does it bother you so much that they didn't play 9 innings?
Because baseball should be 9 innings. I mean, just because Major League Baseball should be 9 innings. I don't know. And that's never going back, is it? Like that's not a COVID thing. They're not going back, are they?
I need to double check that if it was just the this year thing or an overall thing.
Well, I think that's where it's going to be. Mm-hmm. I do. All right, what do I get today? Am I going to get more speculation on what the Niners are going to do? Niners know what they're doing. They're going to sit back and they're just going, ha, ha, ha.
They're sitting there.
Everybody's talking about
what
us.
they
We're
should
the
do is
smartest
rent
guys in
a
the room.
beach house beside the Rams.
Damn right.
Kick back and
go. And just troll.
Hey, we're using a first-round pick. Oh, you don't know what that is?
Ever heard
Sorry.
of those? Yeah. Ever heard of a first-round pick? Oh, wait, you just traded your last one to Detroit. The last guy.
They'll be like, yeah, have you ever heard of a quarterback? I'm going now.
You got Jim Garoppolo. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can't keep anybody healthy. Boy, San Francisco got hammered last year. Are they? We're all to believe last year was just an anomaly for San Francisco, right? Because they were so injured.
Yeah, that is an organization that I trust in. And like
they were
that
bad
team,
for so long, JJ. They were bad for a decade.
And now, I think Shanahan and Lynch are good together. They're heading in the right direction. I think that's why they decided, you know what, we feel that the foundation is strong enough here. We just can't rely on Jimmy G anymore. I think a lot of it's due to his health. So they're going with the shiny new toy.
Well, that's my whole point with you on the Garoppolo, and I really believe that's why he's not been traded. There's another team who wants him. I mean, they're not going to give a first round
$50 million.
Yeah, you got to pick up that contract for a guy that they've got him in camp every day.
And that's my thing too. How is New England just acquiring that?
That salary?
Yeah, that's still 50. He's owed like 24 and 24 the next 2 years.
Maybe they can get a Rockies kind of a deal where the team that trades will still pay the guy's salary.
Sure, you can restructure it a little bit, but that's we just haven't seen a contract of that moved. Now it was Philadelphia did it, but Indianapolis didn't have a quarterback. Like they weren't already sitting on salaries. Like there was a big void. So like, yeah, we'll take on Wentz's contract now. That's fine. Not quite the case right now when we're looking around the rest of the league.
And that's why it's so hard to move him. A, he's okay, and B, he's really expensive, and C, he probably gets all the chicks, and nobody else can right. I mean, how you rolling with Jim Garoppolo? Now, like there's others who say, no, dude, I just want the remnants, and I get that, but I mean, he's probably getting all the women, and the other, no, Shanahan married. Coach and player don't roll together, do they?
Who knows what Cliff Kingsbury's up to? Guy Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, I'm pretty certain has a long. Isn't she a high-profile model, smoking internet star? Look at Aaron. Aaron's playing mime on me. You can jump in. Tell me what you know.
What do you know, Aaron? What do you know?
Right? I mean, Sean McVay is like his girlfriend's some internet Instagram star, right?
Super pretty lady.
Oh, that's easy.
Like super, super fine. And he likes to sneak into the shirtless pics himself just to make sure, people know.
And then they'll all be at the beach house down the street here for the draft.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, then you roll it with Jim Garoppolo. Nobody even notices you. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's part of the quarterback lore, isn't it?
Isn't that though how is Cowherd dealing with that one? Because he's always about the jawline, the good-looking quarterback, but then he's telling you that Jimmy Garoppolo's done.
Yeah, there's an exception to every rule, JJ. I think you know that. There's always an exception. It's a pretty good. So who's the best ugly quarterback? I mean, is that kind of where you're going? Who's the best guy that defies the good-looking Captain Handsome?
The Manning family enters the chat.
Okay. I mean,
goodness.
Who's the best ugly quarterback? Now I got to go down my list.
Oh, this isn't going to end well for anyone.
No, it's not going to end well for anybody.
It's like babies falling out of helicopters.
Andrew Luck,
but I'm looking down. I mean, they're all kind of, good-looking gentlemen. Gardner Minshew? Oh, but people.
Minshew's a legend. What are you talking about, bro?
Right. No, that's right. He's a legend.
Right,
give me
mullet.
One.
Let's go.
You got one? I mean,
Andrew
they're
Luck.
all Andrew Luck, just because of the neck beard. Like, why? I mean, he's such a bright dude. Why did he let that thing roll all the way down his neck? Yeah, it was deep. So, but he's out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got? Nick Foles? Matthew Stafford a good-looking gentleman? I mean, I don't know.
To their significant others.
Yeah. Well. It's a good point.
See, this is what happens when you give us like a 17-minute segment, Bob.
Well, yeah. Well, Aaron did
we go
this
from
one.
Babies dropping from helicopters to ugly quarterbacks.
Ugly. There aren't any. I mean, are there any ugly quarterbacks?
Sure.
Who aren't like the good? I mean, not just good-looking quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield,
Handsome quarterback talk.
TV star.
Who do you like? Who's is the wavy locks of Trevor Lawrence the reason why he's the number 1 overall pick?
That's exactly the reason. Yeah, that's why Justin Fields.
Not
is
talent, just
he doesn't.
Fields doesn't have the hair game.
Jaw. Yeah, he doesn't fit the square, strapping, handsome, good-looking Colin Cowherd type. Exactly right. Tom Brady probably does though. Yeah, that's right. That's probably right.
Tom Brady's got the glow up. He went from that dude. You're like, okay, to.
Yeah.
Uggs and avocado toast.
Uggs. Actually, avocado toast doesn't sound that bad right now. I just got a case of the Hungries. What did Hoser used to say? I got the Hungries.
Got the
You
Hungries.
got the Hungries, mijo? You got the Hungries, mijo?
Music, 1 minute.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you want to do this again tomorrow?
we'll find a
sure?
way to get it done.
Sure.
We'll be here.
Jim Rome show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will be after that. Sports Bar Trulio of Carlisle coming your way at 4 with more local sports talk. We'll be back with what they call award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Bob, Aaron, thank you for getting us through this. Excellent work. We'll, JJ, enjoy the day.
Have a day.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. Smell you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona. Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from